Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we've got the final reviews for Gotham Knight, and it's not so good, Al. And we'll go over that Resident Evil showcase that happened yesterday. But before we get started, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, and we can keep you up to date with gaming news. Now let's get started. So first we have that Resident Evil showcase, and there wasn't any massive announcements here. We get a lot of new look at some games as well as some dates to look forward to. So first we see a new trailer for Resident Evil Village Gold, and this will include the Winter's expansion, and this is coming out October 28th. And they highlight this Mercenaries additional orders where you get to play as different characters from the game. And they're also adding the third-person point of view. And one interesting note they had here is that even if you tried to move your camera around to see Ethan's face, he'll actually turn his head to try to prevent you from seeing it. Just a cute little thing. And there is a 60-minute demo that's going to be available right now on the PS4, PS5, the Xbox One and Series systems, as well as Steam. And this demo will include that third-person perspective if you want to give it a try. And then we get an update for ReVerse, which is that multiplayer game, and this will be free if you have any version of Resident Evil Village, the original or the gold one. And early access for that starts on the 23rd and will run until the 25th. And there was a note here that you will need a Capcom ID in order to play online. And then they outline some updates, but give no specific dates for when these will release. And then we get a reminder that RE Village will be available streaming on the Switch, and there is a demo so you can test this out to see if it's something you can deal with. And that will also be out on October 28th. And then we also get a reminder that there's more cloud versions of Resident Evil coming. We have RE2 coming on November 11th. Followed by the third one on the 18th, and then Biohazard, which I believe is the 7th one, is going to be available on December 16th. And again, these are all cloud streaming versions. And then we get some more footage for Resident Evil 4 Remake, and we probably saw a good 5 minutes of gameplay here, so this looked pretty good. They mentioned that you'll have crafting and you can buy weapons, and I believe they said they added trading items into this remake. Now this will be available for the PS4, PS5, and the Series X and S, no Xbox One version, and also Steam. And they did say that the PS4 version can be upgraded to the PS5 version for no extra cost. So if you're still looking for a PS5, you can go ahead and pick this up on the PS4 version and you're good moving forward. And then they outline two special versions. There's the Deluxe Edition where you get costumes, special weapons, and a treasure map. And then the Physical Only Collector's Edition, and this has everything that the Deluxe Edition had, plus a Leon figure, an art book, and a soundtrack. Now there's some pre-order digital items that you can get as a bonus that you can decorate your attaché case with. And you're supposed to be able to do the pre-orders right now, but as of the time of recording this video, that hadn't gone up, so I don't know how much these different editions are going to cost. And then the news I guess most people are waiting for is the release date for RE4 Remake, and that's going to be March 24th. So a pretty good showcase overall, no huge announcements, but we got pretty much what we wanted, which was more footage and release dates. Next, Gotham Knights comes out today, and the Metacritic reviews are not looking too great. So this is the PS5 review, and it's sitting at a 69 Metacritic score, and the Xbox Series system just had 1 point below that at a 68. And if you look at the breakdown of the scores here, you can see it's about half and half, with half the people saying positive and everyone else either giving it a mixed or negative review. And most of the negative comments I saw in the reviews mostly focused on that 30 frames per second. I also saw some other things about how the single player doesn't seem to be balanced, and there's also some open world fatigue. Now, some of the positives, I think a lot of people seem to like the narrative of it, and it seemed to be a pretty good multiplayer game. So I'm going to hold off on picking this up. In fact, I'll probably just see if it ends up on Game Pass in like 3 months. Next, we had a surprise drop for the Switch yesterday, just in time for the Halloween season. We have this tweet here from Nintendo of America. Fight back the darkness and remember, whatever you do, stay in the light. Alan Wake Remastered is available today on Nintendo Switch. And I saw many people thinking that this was a shadow drop, that it hadn't been announced before, but it actually was announced that it was coming to the Switch back in May. But we hadn't been given a release date, so this was a surprise in the fact that the date wasn't announced. And this game was released on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One just a year ago. And this is digital only, so no physical release, but the best news is that it's not a cloud version. And I think most people are happy with that. But I'd wait until a technical review comes out to get this so you kind of have an idea of how it performs on the Switch. But if you do pick it up now, there is a 20% off the retail price of $29.99. So you could save a little bit if you go ahead and pick it up, but it may not be worth it if the performance isn't great. And finally, since it's the end of the week, let's take a look at those Famitsu sales coming out of Japan. First, we have the software sales, and of course, no surprise here, Splatoon 3 coming in first. And then we have Dragon Quest X, Rise of the Five Tribes, and then number 3 is Nier Automata. And then at number 4, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, followed by Minecraft. And then at number 6, Rhythm Festival. And then we have our only new entry here in the top 10, which is Dragon Ball The Breakers. And we'll touch on that in just a second. But then at number 8, we have Nintendo Switch Sports, followed by Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And then the 10th place is the PS4 version of Dragon Quest X. And Dragon Ball The Breakers is described as an asymmetric action game, and it seems to have some mixed reviews. But because it's Dragon Ball, it's still going to sell. And now let's take a look at the hardware sales. The Switch OLED coming in first, but then we have the disc version of the PlayStation 5 actually moving up to number 2. And then we have the original Switch at number 3, the Xbox Series S at 4, the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition at 5, the Switch Lite all the way down at number 6, and then finally the Xbox Series X at number 7. And these are the largest numbers for the PlayStation 5 since the end of September. And with the holiday season ramping up, these numbers may continue to climb as long as Sony doesn't continue to be hampered by supply issues. And that's all we have for today. Did anything we cover catch your attention? If you've played Gotham Knights, let us know what you think about it in the comments. And were you surprised to see Alan Wake Remastered drop on the Switch without any previous announcement of a date? Drop a comment about those topics or anything else we covered today. I want to thank you for watching, have a great weekend, and be good.